So, you learned how to add and subtract them. Now it's time to learn how to multiply and divide them. Mind you, multiplying and dividing them is not as hard as adding and subtracting. As a matter of fact, it's much easier. Those steps that I told you in adding and subtracting, a lot of them you don't even need anymore. You really only need to stick to one rule to figure this out. And that is, if they're both the same, the answer is going to be positive. If they're different signs, the answer is going to be negative. It's that simple. So, go in here into this exercise, learn, take some notes, and then get some practice in. I'll see you on the flip side. Okay, so we're going to talk about multiplying and dividing integers. Now, this is much easier than adding and subtracting integers. Much easier. Why? Well, remember I told you there was two rules to follow? You got the bigger number rule here, and then you got the same sum difference rule right here. Well, guess what? In this case, the bigger number rule does not apply. You don't apply the bigger number rule when you come to multiplying and dividing integers. You just follow same sum, different difference. And even in that, what you're going to do is you're not even going to worry about sum or difference. Nope. You're just going to worry about positive and negative. This is the only two things you need to think about when it comes to multiplying and dividing integers. Now, what do I mean by that? Let me tell you exactly what that means. In this case, 6 times negative 3, let's just look at this. Are they the same or different? Yeah, they're different signs. Different signs. So if they're different signs, we're just going to make sure that the answer is negative. If they're different, the answer is negative. So 6 times 3 is 18, but because they're different signs from one another, it's negative 18. Okay, let's look at negative 4, negative 2. What do you notice? Okay, now they're both negatives. They're the same. Same sign. Same sign, as we know, already means what? That's right, positive. So the answer is going to be positive. 4 times 2 is 8, and because they're both negative, the answer is positive. Because they're the same sign, the answer is positive. Okay? All right, now listen, I'm not trying to confuse you here, but I know that this can get confusing. So let's just do it 2 more times and see where your brain goes with it, okay? All right, let's do it. Erase some of these markings here. All right. Again, sums out, differences out. We're just working on the plus and the minus, positive and negative. That's all we're concentrating on. All right. Are these signs the same or are they different for the negative 5 and 8? Same or different? They're different. One's negative, one's positive. The 5 is negative, the 8's positive. So put different here. And because they're different, we already know that our answer is going to be negative. What is 5 times 8? 40. Negative 5 times 8 is negative 40. All right, can you guess the sign of this one because they're the same? Is this answer going to be positive or negative? If you said positive, you are absolutely right. They're going to be positive. The 7 and the 3 are both negative. So the answer is going to be positive. What is 7 times 3? You better know your multiplication tables now. Woo, 21. And there it is. Folks, if you're struggling with your multiplication tables, by the way, I have an awesome awesome website for you guys to go to. And that website is called, I'll write it down here at the bottom, timestables.com. Go here, make a free account, and you can track your child's progress learning the multiplication tables and learning how to, all the way from 1 to 12s. They really get good at them. There's little games they can play and things like that. And I'm telling you, 5 minutes a day will get their multiplication skills sharp. All right, so go to timestables.com. I'll mention it again, too, in the commentary. But y'all be good, and I'm going to give you guys part 2 so you can practice the multiplying and dividing integers. Okay? Okay, you learned it. Now it's time for practice. Let's try ourselves. What you can do is you can look at this, pause if you need to, and then when you finish pausing, you finishing all the problems, come back here and we'll discuss the answers. Okay? Pause now so you can practice. Okay, let's go over the answers now that you're ready. Here we go. So you have 2 negative numbers. Now what did I say? Same means positive answer. See how positive lines up with same? So they're the same. The answer from 7 times 9, if you know your multiplication tables, 6 to 3. And since they're both the same sign, they're both negative numbers, the answer is positive. Okay, what's the sign going to be of this answer, positive or negative? Well, the 4 is negative, the 8 is positive, so the answer is going to be negative because they're different signs. 4 times 8 is, 32. If you know your multiplication tables, better know them. Again, one more time, See the highlighted link at the bottom here? Timestables.com. So essential. You can go here, learn your times tables, set up yourself an account, and I'm telling you guys, 5 minutes a day on this site right here will get your times tables tight no matter what grade you're in. You can go here and learn them and do well with them. Okay, 12 times 5, 12 times negative 5 actually, excuse me. Again, there are different signs. Our answer is going to be negative. Different means negative here. Ooh, yup. So therefore, 12 times 5 is 60, and we of course know that the answer is going to be negative 60 because they're different signs. Uh-oh. Negative 3 times negative 8. Uh-oh, they're the same sign. Same sign means what? Positive answer. So, we don't need a sign in the front. Positive means no sign at all. You don't have to write it, at least in the front of a number. 3 times 8 is 24. Yes, sir. 24. All right, 24. So that's it. Those are your answers here. Hope you got them all right. If not, go back, rewind, watch the first part, and get this going, okay? I know y'all can do this. Keep trying. Coming up next, division.